Nobodies, we're Jacob and Noah, we're friggin' nobodies. Welcome to our show, we're friggin' nobodies. We don't know much, we're friggin' nobodies. We're old and out of touch. We are the friggin' nobodies. He is Noel. I am Jacob.
I'm not taking part in these shenanigans. That's goofy nonsense.
This one is about billionaires. We will read a 5-minute blurb and then discuss. No. All right, take it away, buddy.
You're an idiot.
I'm Jacob. He's Noel.
I'm Noel. I'm less of an idiot. Well, maybe. Anyway, we're doing the billionaires topic.
Yeah, should we eat the billionaires?
It wasn't quite my title. You ready for my title?
Sure, fire away. What is
right.
it?
When capitalism gives you billionaires, do you squeeze them into billionaid?
Holy God.
Right.
That will not be the real title. You did not click on that.
So
I don't know what you clicked on, but it wasn't that.
So I shall continue. No, sir, I don't like them. Well, most of them. I have a bunch of issues with billionaires, but I'm going to focus on something relatable. Otherwise, I get pissy and whiny. Okay. So let's dig in. Bank robbers. The kind with the decency to pull a gun on a bank teller in person can never become a billionaire in any one human lifetime because banks don't have that kind of cash anymore. Because
they did before.
Well, they may have. Who
Back
knows?
in the 20s.
Because of the rules inherent in the banking
I guess we lost $1
institution.
billion to old Gold Tony.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gold Tony was a famous... I know he wasn't a famous robber.
I get to that later. He couldn't have done it, Gold Tony, no. Any business that deals only with cash, say drug dealers, hitmen, adventurous archaeologists selling priceless antiquities, used car salesmen, the villains in this modern world, simply don't have the room to store that many bills, let alone accumulate wealth on that level. Real world criminals ain't got no chance to become part of the billionaire boys club. Mm-hmm. To get into that hallowed hall, you need the support of a national legal system and the gonzo complicity of a similarly sized economic institution. If you want to scrounge up $1 billion buckaroos.
That's tough.
For petty reasons, I did a swift scroll of billionaires on the Forbes list of the stupidly rich monsters taking advantage of vital and necessary commodities.
I should have done some research, actually.
And eventually I quit. After I scrolled through about 1,000 of them. Honestly.
1,000?
Honestly, I was looking for Taylor Swift.
She's very low down.
So I could use her as an example of institutional complicity in the building of billionaires, but I lost heart. I know she is a newly minted billionaire, and Forbes listed those villains from big to small, and at about the 1,000 mark, I was still in the $4 billion range for billionaires.
Wow.
It was heartbreaking.
Well, that's pretty incredible.
As a quick aside, here are the artists and cultural figures I noticed on the way down and how they made their money. David Geffen.
Yeah, Geffen Records.
That's right. He's a music producer, made his money fucking over artists using shitty record deal contracts.
Yeah, okay.
George
sense.
Lucas.
Right.
Yeah. Got bought out by Disney for $4 of the $5 billion he is worth. Also Star Wars.
Yeah, see, he could have given it away and made it public property, and he would still have $1 billion.
But $4 billion.
Yeah, but $1 billion.
Yeah. Michael Jordan. Endorsements mainly. He sure didn't make that money from baseball, man.
No, not baseball.
Spielberg, producing and directing and being very old, I hope. That's what I hope.
Sure, yeah.
On the way, I had to look at so many oil, pharmaceutical, commodities, luxury, social media, investment, communication billionaires before, with a world-weary sigh, I quit scrolling. I know you're wondering, did I become disgusted enough to attempt to make some billionaid?
These are best and brightest.
Yeah. Or
these are the Shakespeares of our time that we've rewarded with cash.
Is there a path to understanding the obscenely wealthy for a poor and destitute nerd like myself? Let's find out.
Okay, fire away. This is already better than mine.
I like competition. And I like rule sets. And I like winning. I like finding good strategies or finding ways to exploit poorly constructed mechanics or vaguely worded rules so I can win at board games.
Yeah, I like that stuff too.
Yeah, winning is awesome.
But I'm okay with losing too, though. I sometimes try strategies just to see what happens.
Yeah, but,
anyway,
but the
sorry.
competitions we partake in are simple, harmless, abstract pursuits. Importantly, in this situation, friends and competition are in short supply because in my life, I was born with a secondhand stainless steel spoon in my mouth. Not that silver kind that the rich guys get.
No, but still steel.
Yeah, but not silver, man.
Yeah, it's better than mud. Those mud spoons suck.
Granted, the mud spoons do suck. If you don't have much, then you can't risk much. But if you give a man a lever long enough, he can move the world. Keep that in mind. Money is little more than a lazy substitute for labor.
You're going to have a callback?
On the scale I am operating on, I have earned my buying power through my own actions, and the limit of my financial influence is myself and my family and friends. Relatively small influence and small repercussions. The money I've earned, I can measure on the scale of my efforts, and that relationship guides my expenditures. My wealth and influence are relatable to me, and the games or chances I'm willing to partake in are necessarily scaled to those restrictions. However, if my inclination to compete were no longer limited to an abstract tabletop game, if my influence was such that I was able to compete for actual global resources, and when I achieved some modicum of success, then my winnings could be leveraged into real-world commodities? If I could isolate myself from the actual people who provided the labor I needed to achieve my victories? Don't know, man.
If they were just wooden tokens on a board instead of human beings?
That's what they were. With so many ifs in play, I can't honestly relate to the game the billionaires are playing. I don't have the wherewithal to buy the necessary luxuries to insulate myself from the world that exists on the scale of individuals and their immediate and pressing lives. But could I, though?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Maybe.
I think it's too late for me to be a self-made billionaire
Oh, it's
now.
too late now.
Yeah. I have too much empathy for people, and I, honestly, don't believe that my fellow folk exist solely to service my desires.
But do you have the capacities?
Yeah, not now.
I know.
In my
I know.
youth,
Yes.
with enough money and the
Maybe.
proper people, I could have easily considered everyone else as a pawn in my game.
It doesn't mean you win, but yes, you
Yeah.
could do that.
So, young Noel's wish to be a fresh
Plenty of
face.
people do that and lose.
Yeah. Yeah, losers. So, young Noel's wish to be a fresh-faced billionaire can be thrown on the pile next to world champion crokinole player,
That was never your wish.
Shut up.
You just wanted to be level 13.
And Canadian poet laureate, NHL defenseman, and being a constant fixture on a witty and culturally relevant CBC television panel show focused on topics of which I would be intimately familiar. Getting old is nothing more than nodding grimly as you realize the dreams of your youth are no longer, or maybe never were attainable, because of the weakness of your own will, your limited talents, or the incomprehensible programming decisions of your federal broadcasting system.
I'm not going to compare to that. That was great. This.
We're not allowed to give out compliments,
I
man.
chose the topic, but I chose it for him because he talks about this quite
I
a bit.
hate billionaires. Oh, man.
He really does. He does. I don't know that I do. I don't know if I have the energy to do it. He hates landlords even. I don't have the energy for that.
I just don't have a lot of respect for landlords.
I don't have the energy for any of it.
I don't know if you can make landlord aid, but I don't know if I want to.
But I do think I didn't dream of being a billionaire as a kid. I liked Raymond Souster, who's a Canadian poet. And
Souse?
I dreamed of being
Souse!
someone like that because I thought, wouldn't it be great if all the good poets in Canada thought I was the best, but I was so poor I had to work at a bank as a janitor? Wouldn't that be awesome? That was my dream when I was like, I don't know, 18 or something. Like that.
At least in your 20s. We weren't talking about poetry in high school.
I didn't. Right around the time I graduated high school, I had written like 1,000 pages of poetry that I handed in for my OAC in English class, and I thought I was going to be a poet.
The rain.
Instead,
falls
here
like-
I am doing this.
It's like poetry, but
And this is not poetry.
that was not poetry.
It was closer. It was closer. Okay, I'm not even sure what I wrote about anymore because you blindsided me with your write-up.
Sorry, man. It
Here
was
we
that
go.
billion aid, wasn't it?
There has been a decent amount of fuss about the existence of billionaires recently, mostly from Noel.
It's great under this bus, man. You should check
People
your
like
brakes.
Billie Eilish, who recently said something about it, who I actually don't know anything about. And at 53 years old, that's how it should be. Complaining that billionaires should not exist. And hell, I can't even wrap my poor brain around the notion of millionaires. We have Jeff Bezos and Musk flying into space, corporate excess and waste through the roof, CEOs getting bonuses that are multiple times their salary. Multiple times! Even when there's a bailout, even when there's a government bailout, they still have multiple times their salary
favorite
somehow.
thing.
Which
Oh,
is
I love
crazy. It's just taxpayer bonus at that point.
Makes my heart swell
And while their employees get like a measly 10% of their salary or so.
after they've laid off
Now-
30% of the workforce.
Sure, we can't divide everything equally, and I would never ask for that. It's ludicrous. I've read, and this might not be true, that if we divided all the money on Earth equally, not only could we not account for all the assets available,
Yep, that would
just
be a
couldn't
tough
do
one.
it, but on top of that, we would all end up with somewhere in the nature of $2,500. Let's say that's only half the amount. We still end up all dirt poor. But within a generation, we would see similar wealth gaps. Maybe not in favor of the same people, but it would be redistributed in roughly similar ways before too long.
Someone's going to game the system.
That's what I think. That's just how human nature works. Now, 1 million is already a pretty damn big number. We use it colloquially for that reason. 1 million times, yes. I'm not going to tell you to eat the rich or laugh at the deaths of billionaires that die in submarines or are shot in the street. Cheering on death is gross, regardless of who it is. I just think that's a
my gosh,
disgusting thing to do.
There was already Billionaid, but it was like saltwater Billionaid. I didn't realize you could
I
squeeze them.
guess so. They
Yeah.
did get squeezed. There you go.
Thanks, Jacob.
I would like to say that we should be free to do as we please and simply trust on human nature. But honestly, that's pretty foolish.
Yeah, it's a little.
And
sick.
humans have not acted in such a way that this concept makes any sense to me at all. We have serial killers, rapists, stories like the ones from Union Carbide where rich executives take lives due to their greed and then
Whoever
avoid
wrote this
accountability. That is, if you're looking for a book to not read, that's at the top of my list. It is the one to not
I had
read.
not read this book many times before I turned 53.
Okay, so we live in a world where it is well known that rich people don't have to obey the law in nearly the same way that poor people do, because we all know that rich people can afford better lawyers and that have a much higher chance of getting you off the hook or getting away with a crime. This is just something we just know. This you pay for a better lawyer, you have a better chance of winning. This is common knowledge. Billionaires also live longer, they eat better food, have better health care. All of these things. And that would be fair if we believed the system that rewards these people was fair to begin with. But do we actually believe that? Does anybody on the left or the right wing? I don't think anybody believes that.
I'm going to vote no from here.
I don't.
Yeah.
Most people are able to point out inequities in our system. We are able to point out issues with how we compensate one another. We may disagree on the amount or the direction, but those inequities exist, and most people seem to be aware of it. Remember the bell curve?
Yeah.
So the bell curve,
Yeah, I do.
it's a book, and it mostly became famous because of one chapter about race and IQ. And that's unfortunate.
And Jacob's going to be focusing on that right now.
But the people who were upset about that chapter, they kind of missed the point. The book was mostly about how we disproportionately reward people based on IQ. Now, you might not agree with IQ, but let's just say intelligence as it's understood in the West, or problem solving, or something along those lines. So just try to roll with me for a second on this. Now, this is a characteristic that, as far as we know, is pretty much set in stone long before you have any ability to impact it. Then there are connections, family wealth, luck of the draw, timing. There are a ton of factors that go into making someone rich, and many of them are things out of our control. Now, I'm not going to say kill all billionaires. Noel might.
I didn't.
But I won't. I've read. I didn't know what you.
30%.
I said might. I didn't know what he was going to say before I
30%.
wrote this. I've read enough history books that outline how this can go. So, for very pragmatic reasons, I would like to see some kind of salary cap. Not taxes, because I don't trust the government any more than I do executives. They're all in bed with each other anyways. You people who want to say free enterprise over the government, they're the same goddamn thing as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of them.
You can buy influence,
Now,
and it's
when I say salary cap, that includes assets, stocks, and every sneaky way around it you can imagine. Something like a multiple of what the lowest paid worker earns, where if a CEO wants more money, they have to bring up the bottom first. If they want a bonus, that percentage should be the same percentage as what the lowest paid worker gets. Benefits should be similar too. I'm still okay with them making many times more than what the lowest paid worker gets, but not these bizarre numbers like 400 to 600 times. It's insane.
Yeah.
And not because I'm a commie socialist who wants all things to be flattened and forced into an equality that doesn't exist, since we are not given equal abilities or morality or anything. We are not equal. But simply for the very pragmatic reason that I don't want to live through a violent revolution. That would suck, by the way.
There is an alternative. You could die in the violent revolution.
Simply because I believe that our social structures and our civilization will be infinitely more stable if we do our level best to keep things just fair enough that violence doesn't become a tempting alternative. And I'm afraid it's becoming one.
It is a tempting alternative. Thanks, Luigi Mangione.
I did not expect this to go 15 minutes before our write-ups were done. But we both interrupted each other a lot and had a bunch of asides. So
Yeah, I also did.
don't worry about it.
I used your terrible trick and did 11 font.
Because he's got lots to say on this.
Oh, yeah. It was like this much over, and I didn't want 2 pages.
I think he used to look at like the things about the CEO getting shot or the billionaires dying in the sub and just salivate.
I joke about it, but
I don't do that.
I don't think you need to kill billionaires.
You're going to have a certain amount of sociopaths in our society who are going to do those types of things, and there's nothing you can do to stop that from happening. The best you can do is try to keep them in check.
Or not give them a reason.
And we're doing nothing to keep them in check as far as I
remember,
can tell.
If you think...
Mark Zuckerberg, this is the guy we reward?
Yeah.
Looks like a douchebag as far as I can tell.
Aside from the ad hominem, nobody gets to be a billionaire by being a decent person unless they inherit their wealth. And
Then they don't get to be it. They don't get it by being a decent person. They got it by luck.
Yes, that's right. And that's fine. But if you accumulate $1 billion, I can't think of a way to do it without being a monster and cutting the throats of all of your competition. It's such a mind-boggling amount of money.
You use Steam, right?
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah. So the guy
Gabe Newell.
Yeah. He has a mega yacht with a gaming system on his mega yacht that's more amazing than any gaming system you've ever seen. On his boat.
Yeah.
I mean, a mega yacht's just a really, 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 really big boat. As far as I could tell.
It is.
And it's ridiculous. I don't understand how these things are. Not that I think it should be illegal, because you've allowed the guy to make that much money already with the systems in place. So what the hell are you going to do?
It's not a matter
Something
of
had to happen long before it got to that point. It's too late to be like, hey, man, that yacht's a bit too big.
The issue is it's all legal, and it's legal because the people who have the money keep eroding the laws that prevent you from making the money. That much money.
Well, they're able to help manipulate. And
They can buy political influence.
Yes.
And get laws made in their favor.
You might hear my kids playing basketball in the alleyway now.
It becomes
A little bit.
completely stacked against anybody who's trying to innovate. It's just, and it's naturally what happens in capitalism. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying capitalism is bad, but you can't get by with naked capitalism. There's one winner at the end.
Well, we have an episode on that about capitalism and Marxism. Go check it out. We're not anti-capitalist and we're not pro-communist.
But they both need some checks and balances.
They both do, and neither one of them is anywhere near the vision that their leaders had. And capitalism was intended as a critique of free market ideals, and it's a reasonably accurate one in the sense that we have been rewarding capital to the owners disproportionately compared to the workers. And even the inventor of free market ideals, Adam Smith, would be disgusted by the Jeff Bezos and Elon Musks of today.
This
is
insanity.
not free market. This is capitalism. The French critique does fit right now, I'm afraid.
It's the building of a new feudal system. Except, instead of having things passed down divinely once you use violence to get what you want.
We're run by oligarchs and rich ass.
You end up with the sociopaths that head up companies.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And you're going to get those people either way. You can't.
in some ways, monarchy's a little better because there's enough examples of monarchs getting mutilated by their population that occasionally they would do enough to keep their population happy. And the oligarchs don't seem to be set up for that. It's just competition with themselves on a level that doesn't include individual influence.
Well, historically, it's something we should expect. We should expect a violent revolution at some point if things get out of hand. Now, one of the issues is preventing us from having that violent revolution that we all want so much.
or are expecting, one of the two.
One of the two. One of the things preventing that is that the bottom has been brought up just high enough. Like I said, the kids play basketball in the alleyway, man. That they're so blinded with their Steam games and their Netflixes and whatnot that nobody cares anymore.
I think that might be coming to a head.
It might be.
I don't know. But
Yeah, well, we're starting to see the point where people cheer on the death of billionaires. Some people.
And that guy wasn't a billionaire. He was just the head of a pharmaceutical company that made billions of dollars.
Right, but the submarine guys were.
The submarine guy. Yeah. He was a billionaire.
They were billionaires. The CEO of United Health, I think it is, some American
not
health
James
insurance
Cameron.
company. We're
He
Canadians, so we don't really know.
Yeah. James Cameron's Canadian, isn't he?
He's not a billionaire?
He should be.
He probably should be.
He should be. His movies have made
I don't mean
billions of dollars.
should.
No. I see what we're doing here. No.
In that sense. But he probably is based
on both of our write-ups. I didn't see him on the list, so he doesn't have more than $4 billion.
Huh. Well, what do you know about that?
Yeah.
Aliens alone puts him higher and more important than
I really
Mark
wanted
Zuckerberg, as far as I'm
really
concerned.
wanted to dislike James Cameron because of Titanic, and The Abyss.
He made Aliens.
I know, and he also made Terminator.
And Terminator 1. Terminator
Yeah,
1.
so good.
Terminator 2 is a cheap copy of Terminator 1 with a crappier ending.
Nice work, James Cameron.
And a big existential bit in the desert that sucks.
Yeah, Terminator 2's got
But it's got really good stunts and an awesome villain.
20 minutes is so good at the beginning.
Of what, the Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Linda
Terminator
Hamilton's
2's got a
amazing.
lot of great stuff in it, but it is just a remake of Part 1.
Yeah.
There's really nothing added. It's got an awesome villain, cool stunts. It's all that's great.
And the only thing the Terminator doesn't do is terminate anyone.
But Part 1 is tighter. It's a horror sci-fi, and rather than an action sci-fi, it doesn't take nearly as long to tell the same story. It has a better ending because everything's cyclical.
I know we're over here, but James Cameron did Aliens.
We're not even talking about billionaires.
I know, but he took Alien, which was a tight horror movie, all encapsulated, and he made the sequel action adventure military.
Yeah.
And then he took Terminator,
Yeah.
and then made the sequel.
Action and adventure, not so much
But the
military,
first,
but yeah.
did the same thing.
Did the same thing.
Maybe he's a little
essentially,
derivative. If he does Titanic
himself.
2, if he does Titanic 2,
I might watch that one.
yeah, it's probably going to be a military escapade down at the bottom of the ocean.
Revenge of the Titanic. It's coming back to get Rose.
Yeah,
I miss Leonardo DiCaprio.
all those big
and a big chomping Titanic comes to eat her up.
all those big exhaust pipes are now cannons.
Anyways, we're over 20
Yeah.
minutes. I think we solved the problem of billionaires. Hopefully you guys don't want to eat them, but would like to see
Hopefully
something
we
done
solve
to,
them. Otherwise,
to
the
curb
public's
this.
going to do it, and it's going to be ugly.
We can't make actual equality. It's impossible, but we could do better. We can definitely do better.
We can stamp out some of the egregious outsiders in terms of financial capital, just to bring the balance down. That doesn't make it equal, but it makes it less.
It's funny when I bring up the salary cap thing. A lot of people will crap all over me for that. I mean, on the conservative types will crap all over me for it. But I don't hear them complaining about minimum wage nearly as much.
No.
Some of them will if you push them on it. They'll be like, "Oh, I actually don't agree with that either." It's like, yeah, but it's a law, and you never complain about it.
I really like what Finland did when Teemu Solani, the Finnish Flash,
Yeah, I know who a hockey player.
got his very first big fancy car in Finland. He got pulled over and got a speeding ticket for $135,000
of what
as a
you make.
percentage of your wealth.
Yeah.
Which is a deterrent which would work very well.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that a millionaire gets charged the same amount as a
Yes.
poor person.
So if you were charged, say,
Johnny
I don't know,
Depp came to Vancouver and he would openly smoke in the mall because he could afford the fine.
Yes.
He didn't care.
Yeah. Take $3 million from him, he'll care.
He would care all of a sudden. Anyways, we're at 24 minutes just about
All right.
here. And for you
We're
to be
out,
more
man.
because there's intros and who knows what we've put in the middle.
If you're on down the trail, he's going to see you there later.
God damn, he stole my thunder.
Bye.
Rock and roll.